guys, it's Genji You Whack here, and your favorite weeb is back once again to rank all the skins for a specific hero. And I think you guessed it, today we're going to be looking at Hanzo skins and ranking... They'd all be the worst skins. No! We're ranking Genji skins. Last time we did a ranking video, we looked at all of Mercy skins and ranked them, and it seems like you guys really enjoyed it. So I figured we look at the better Shimada brother this time around and rank all of Genji's skins. Now before we get deeper into Genji, I do want to let you guys know that all my opinions on Genji skins are actually facts, because I am the biggest weeb that you ever know. I did have a Crunchyroll subscription for 3 months and did watch 27 episodes of Naruto. But that doesn't mean I don't want to hear from you guys, so comment down below what your favorite Genji skin is, and let's get right into it because we have a lot of good skins and a lot of bad skins when it comes to our favorite Shimada brother. Also, if you want to get the Genji and Hanzo pocket tee both in green and blue, you can go to my merch store down below. Okay, let's get started. Now, just like the Mercy skin video, I'm not going to be including any of the rare Genji skins. One, because I feel like they shouldn't affect this list, but two, out of all the rare skins that Hero has, these have to be the worst rare skins of all time. They look pale, they look gross, so I'm not even going to give them a ranking because if you feel like one of these are better than the other, you got problems. Now, contrary to popular belief, Genji actually has some of the worst skins in the game, while he also has some of the best skins. At the beginning of Genji's skin lifespan, it started off very low, and then it started to get really high, and as of late, it just started to go downhill from there. But the very first set of skins was his base legendary skins, first starting off with Bedon. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but that's how bad the skin is that I don't care how to pronounce it. This World Wanderer skin is a skin that I'm very confused by. It doesn't really fit Genji's aesthetic. You think of a cyborg ninja, and it just seems like a wanderer in the desert, not really knowing where he's supposed to go, which I guess in a way could actually be fitting for Genji because he's lost himself, trying to find himself. It even says in the description that he's trying to come to peace with his new cyborg body. But this skin just looks ugly. Not to mention his weapon of choice being his stars looking like my dog's toenails. His overall look and aesthetic and arsenal of weaponry just is an overall confusing one. But his second worst skin of all time is one that not only gets overshadowed by his copious amounts of great legendary skins, but is one that just is kind of boring. It's Young Genji. Young Genji and Sparrow were the archive set of skins before archive skins were even a thing. Calling back to the younger days of Genji, hence the name with this specific skin, Young Genji. You think they would come up with a better name than that. But the main reason why Young Genji is worse than Sparrow in this case is all because of the color palette. I mean, the white and the orange, while it's not the worst color combination, the green hair on top just throws it off completely. But now taking the 15th spot, we have the other Wanderer skin, this time with Nomad. Now, the only reason why this one's better is because the colors, the teal and the white accents really contrast well with each other, but the overall aesthetic and the overall look, just like I said before with the previous skin, is not something that I really like. I mean, when you really look at the stars, you think, wow, these look gross. These need a little trimming. And then finally, we have Sparrow. Something that I just recently learned is that that is the nickname of Genji that his family or his classmates or whoever gave to him, but the skin still looks like cheeks. I will say this though, the colors are what save the skin. You have various shades of green throughout, and then the main color, of course, being black, and he finally has some black hair, so he's a handsome individual, but it's just an overall boring looking skin. His weaponry also isn't saving him either, where his stars just kind of look like crackers just bitten off at the end of it, and then his sword looks like a bootleg sword that you would get at some Japanese store at the mall. Like, what? But then coming in at the number 13 spot is the skin that started it all. Every single time you see a green line, you automatically think of this man, and it's of course Genji and his, well, classic skin. I honestly think that Genji's classic skin is way better than his 4 original legendary skins, because when you really think about it, you can either spend 1,000 credits on a bad looking Genji skin or not. So don't be spending your money on Sparrow or Nomad. Keep the classic Genji skin and get you a real skin when events come around. But at the number 12 spot, we got a better skin than classic, and it's none other than Genji in his Chrome skin. And the only reason why Chrome is better than classic is because there's a little bit more chrome and there's yellow accent colors. This, of course, is an epic skin, and for 250 credits, you're not getting that much better of a skin. I mean, yes, you get a little bit more silver metallic version of Genji, but if you were to look at this from 50 meters away and put regular classic Genji and Chrome Genji right next to each other, you'd be hard pressed to try to tell what the difference was. At the 11th spot, we have a very early skin, which is just another epic skin. This is Carbon Fiber. Now, this one is leagues better than not only Chrome, the other epic skin, but the other skins I mentioned previously, because it actually looks different, but it looks clean with him specifically. Genji is a cyborg ninja, but above all else, he is a ninja, and ninjas are supposed to be stealthy and hidden in the shadows and silent, and I feel like carbon fiber really brings that out of it. You have this stealth-like gray carbon fiber color, even though it's not really carbon fiber because you don't really see the pattern, but then you have this midnight blue accent that you see throughout the muscles and the six-pack, and even the lights on his mask. Cracking into the top 10 of Genji skins, we actually have our very first legendary skin, but when I first saw this skin, I couldn't help but laugh and wonder, what did they do to my poor Genji? It is Kendoka skin. Now this of course came with the Summer Games event and is supposed to reference the sport or samurai sport. Basically, it's Japanese fencing where you have sword fighting. Pause? But you also wear this traditional sport-like outfit with the very long shorts, with the funny-looking shoes, but more importantly, the mask. And that's why they replaced Genji's iconic mask, you know, the one that I wore. That just hit me in the face. I think the only reason why I'm not too fond of this skin is because they changed so much about Genji to the point where it doesn't look like Genji anymore. And that's always tough when making a legendary skin because you want to make a cool legendary skin and potentially inspired from in real-life elements. This time around from a real-life Summer Game sport, but it hit the mark just a little bit, not a little bit, a lot off with the mask specifically. Kendoka, man, I hate to say it, but it's not one of his better ones because there are so many other legendary skins that outshine this one. Remember how I said at the beginning of the video how Genji's skin started off very bad and then it got really good and then it went downhill? Well, that's what happened with Kendoka and Bushi. Remember how I said if you're gonna make a legendary skin for Genji and if you want to transform his iconic mask, you better make it look like a cool mask? Well, here they did the complete opposite of what they did with Kendoka and left his regular mask but transformed all around him. It literally looks like they forgot to design the front facing part of his mask, so they just left. I keep hitting myself with these little dangly things. They redesigned everything, his armor, his shoes, even his sword and his stars, even the top and behind part of his mask, but not the front part. Why? Plus, I don't really like Genji's stars in this skin. The pattern kind of remind me of Sigma's balls, like one of his skins have a similar pattern, but his katana, on the other hand, is so fresh. Like with the dragon scene throughout the whole entire sword. See, that's how you make a bootleg Japanese sword look like it was handcrafted for Genji. But up until this point, I feel like I've been arguing as to why these skins aren't that great. And I understand you guys might really love these legendary skins, but I feel like a reason why you love them is because they're your only legendary skins. So how about we talk about an actual good skin and one that won't break the bank and one that is going to be coming up with not only the anniversary event, but the Summer Games event in the form of Nihon. Nihon was Genji's first and only epic event skin that he's ever received. And this was brought to us in 2016 and it still holds up very well in 2021. This skin was inspired from the Japanese flag because that's where Genji originates from. But the reason why the Japanese flag inspired the skin to begin with is because the very first Summer Games was inspired from the Olympics. So there are a lot more country-oriented skins where Torbjorn got a Swedish flag and Widowmaker got a French flag, you know, stuff like that was pretty common when it came to the first Summer Games event. But this one was good because one, it was the very first event Genji skin, so people obviously went crazy for what was probably one of the most popular heroes of all time getting an event skin, but it was also just a clean, simplistic look. You know, the white base and then the red accent colors and then the red visor was something that was somewhat menacing, but something that was just fresh, man. Plus the stars and sword also got that same menacing red accent color, which would be a common theme of good Genji skins in the future. But for this one, for only 250 credits or originally 750 credits, you really couldn't go wrong with getting this good Genji skin. But now taking the number 7 spot, we got a very underrated skin and one that I probably underrated it too at one point, but has grown on me over time. And this, of course, is Genji in his Sentai skin. The Power Ranger skin, as it's commonly nicknamed as, is Genji's first anniversary skin. And when we all first saw this skin, we were all kind of blown away by it. And I wouldn't say in like a, whoa, that's such a cool skin, but like a, whoa, that is a Genji skin, all right? Because again, you wouldn't expect Genji to get a skin like this. I mean, he is a cyborg ninja. You expect him to get Japanese or ninja skins or stuff like that. Not really a Power Ranger skin with a helmet that makes him kind of look like a beetle and then armor that kind of makes him also look like a superhero, but it looks cool, man. Plus his stars and sword look dope too, where the stars had a little bit more edgier point to it and a more teal-like glow rather than it being green, and then the sword had that same teal glow too. too. It was just an all-around great but confusing skin, but one that you kind of got used to the more that you played with it. Now this next skin is one that I want to love a little bit more because it comes with not only a great skin but also retransformation of his ultimate voice line, and this is Genji with his Bahu skin. This Genji skin came with the lunar event and was one of 4 different skins that represented different mythological creatures, with Genji representing the white tiger. That's really cool because you also see that representation whenever he uses his ultimate, because his voice line transforms to the white tiger becomes me, which is a nice little addition to what he's supposed to represent in Chinese folklore. But the skin itself, in my personal opinion, was the peak of Genji skins, where the armor got a redesign to have more armor-like elements like in medieval times, with the skirt and then the chest plate and then the shoulder and arm plates with line elements seen on the shoulder plates and belt, and then the glowing logo of the white tiger on his chest. And then of course you got the fur of the white tiger around his neck and then the ponytail, but then his mask. This is what I mean by saying if you're going to transform Genji's mask, do it right, because here it still looks like Genji because you have the glowing, well in this case teal or light blue glow, which looks fantastic with like little fading fog effects coming out of it, but it also is a line. So you're taking elements of Genji and taking elements of a line and combining it and making an all-around great looking skin. Why is this only at number 6? Oh, that's right, because we have one of the original great Genji skins, this time with Oni. Oni, of course, in Japanese culture is supposed to be a demon or a devil, and my boy Genji definitely looks a part. The main star of the show is, of course, the Oni mask, where it has a more traditional Japanese Oni look to it, rather than having a more Genji look to it. There's no green lines, there's no fog, there's no glowing green or red eyes. But other than that, there's not much else to talk about the skin, other than his stars and sword, because in the middle of the stars you see this devil eye, what looks to be almost like a Nemo egg. If you ever seen the movie Nemo, the clownfish eggs kind of look the same as the devil eye seen in the middle of the stars. And then the sword obviously still has that same devil eye, or the Nemo egg, whatever you said to call it, but then the menacing glowing red end of it too, and then the red tape at the handle of it. Oh, it looks so cool. But now at the number 4 spot, we got a skin that I'm sure most people actually don't even know exists, because this was a BlizzCon exclusive that came with the 2019 BlizzCon event that still hasn't released yet, and this of course is Illidan. Illidan is my skin of choice that I use for Genji. One, because not a lot of people have it. You did have to purchase a BlizzCon ticket or the virtual ticket, I'm pretty sure, to be able to get the skin, which was at a $50 value. But I also like it because it's a crossover of a popular World of Warcraft character, which is, well, Illidan. Now me personally, I'm not a World of Warcraft fan. I've never played World of Warcraft. I don't know a little bit of the characters, but I like this skin personally because, well, it's a flex skin. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's one of those eye-catching skins that when you see it on the battlefield, you know, oh, he's a huge virgin. But everything about this skin is just completely outrageous and over the top. The purple skin, the glowing green cracks seen throughout his body, and then his piercing green eyes with the little fire effect hidden away behind the bandana, and then his stars with the pointy, jagged green glow to it too, and then the sword, what doesn't even look like a sword, but looks like something that can destroy the whole entire world. But now coming at the number 3 spot is, in my personal opinion, the last good Genji skin that we've gotten in a while, and this is Karusu Tengu. Did I say that right? This skin came with the Halloween event and is supposed to represent a crow, which is perfect with Junkenstein's Revenge specifically because there's tons of crows seen on the redesigned version of Eichenwald. Now, if you were to come to me in a business meeting saying, hey, we need to give Genji a crow-like skin, I would probably tell you to leave the door and just make something like Kendoka because, well, that's more fitting for Genji. But then, well, if you actually show me Kendoka and then you show me this Halloween skin, I would tell you come back and then whoever made that Kendoka skin to get out! And why is that? Because this crow-like skin is beautiful. It's perfect for Genji. It has just enough elements to completely retransform Genji away from his typical cyborg ninja look into an actual crow. The stars are great this time, the main color of course being orange, kind of sharing the same color palette as his eyes, and then the sword too having that same orange look. Overall, there is nothing really bad about the skin in my personal opinion. I feel like this is one of those skins where you either fall in love with it originally, and then if you hate it, over time you start to like it a little bit more and more because you realize World Kendoka. And the other legendary skins that I mentioned before don't really shine a light to it because, well, this one, it's good for Halloween, it's good for Genji. And it's just an overall simple but well-executed skin. But coming in as the runner-up for the best Genji skin, we got another flex skin. But when you look at 2018 All-Star Genji, you can't argue with me that this skin looks ugly. And if it does look ugly, well, if you would have it, you would be rocking with it just as much as I did originally before Illidan came around. This skin was given to Genji in a 2-week period that cost 200 league tokens back in 2018, where they were celebrating the All-Star skin, where Genji represented the Pacific Division and Tracer represented the Atlantic Division. And the contrast here is obviously lava or fire and water, basically Shark Boy and Lava Girl, or Lava Boy and Shark Girl. And it's apparent that he's supposed to represent fire, either with the fiery ponytail replacing his hair or the lava replacing his muscles. Everything about the skin just screams fire, 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 fire. And you guys know me, I'm a sucker for animated skins. That's why I like Mask Changer Sombra, and here with the fire effect helmet, it's really cool too. But his weapons, his stars and sword, while they are great, they're not my favorites. The design choice that they had is kind of weird. It's not as smooth and it's not, I guess, sharp as some of the other stars. And then the sword, while it does still have that same lava glow to it, the design there too, it's like a little bit more like free flowing. I feel like Genji's more straight edge and it's still a great skin, but it's not #1. Because, ladies and gentlemen, taking the #1 spot is a skin that you knew was going to be somewhere high on this list, potentially top 3, potentially top 2, possibly even #1, and of course, it's Blackwatch Genji. Everybody loves this skin, and if you don't love the skin, well, it doesn't matter because nobody loves you. But when we first saw the skin, it wasn't even in the second archives event, the retribution of it. It was actually in a comic where Genji was training with the Overwatch organization or the Blackwatch organization. I don't really remember, but we saw them in this attire, and we were all intrigued and wondering, well, is this going to be a future Genji skin? Because we all loved it, mainly because we can finally see his left nipple. But this was supposed to be before Genji got his classic skin, his cyborg ninja armor that we know and love today, where here he's literally half human, half cyborg, because this is where Mercy found him in the state that he was in, and they kind of scrapped together armor to try to make Genji live. But the thing is, though, he looks way cooler in this set of armor than he does in his classic set of armor. So I don't know why they wouldn't even keep him in this skin set, because he looks so dope, Overwatch. He, of course, has the robotic legs, and then his right arm has some elements of like muscle, but it's mainly just still like robot pieces. And then his other side is more his human side, and then his helmet is like mainly like a Genji mask, but it's supposed to show more of his human eyes. Again, this is supposed to be a mixture of human elements and cyborg elements, where you see more skin, but then the piercing red eyes is what really puts this whole skin together. I feel like all his skins have some sort of like piercing eye element, but that's what makes a really cool Genji skin. And here, it's the piercing shouting gun. His stars are clean, his sword is clean, just everything about this skin is clean. Like, everyone would love to look like this man, because you know you would pull so many baddies looking like this. And that's why it's the best Genji skin out of all his skins, and that's why it takes the #1 spot. But let me know what your favorite Genji skin is, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this for another hero. Maybe we can do Sombra in the future, maybe May. Anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, more ranking videos to come, because in all reality, this kind of is replacing the top 5 series, where we can look at every single skin for a hero. But I really want to pick heroes that have a lot of skins. Genji, he has copious amounts, and Mercy had copious amounts, so maybe we'll do someone like May in the future. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.